guys. It is now 12:28 p.m. on Friday, and I had signed up for a webinar. Yes, another one. And I was like, oh, I need to go to that. And I thought, no, I don't need to go to that. None of these are like obligations, because definitely once I make a commitment to something, I like to, especially if someone's depending on me. But that's not what these are. But I ended up going because I was like, actually, maybe I can get something out of it. And it was Tony Robbins. And I took some notes. And it feels really good, to be perfectly honest, because it's like, I'm literally doing it right. Like, everything he's saying, I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm doing. So it's not just validating, like feel good validating. It's like, this is the right path. And the more that I end up cross-referencing, which isn't my intention, but the more that I hear the same thing from multiple different successful, which is what I care about, not just, like I said, in one area, but in all areas. And just people who want and are experiencing a rich experience of life, and he talked about the reticular activating system, which I've already learned about. And, but I learned there's something I can do to help with inner conflict. And I was like, yeah, that'd be really good. And when I looked that up, I actually released tears. I was like, okay, yep, this is, and I made a little diagram of like, where are you? Where do you want to go? Why and how, and it just, I think more than anything, what it's doing is it's showing me that me taking time and energy to figure out what I want isn't a waste of time or a waste of energy. It's literally how you do it, and yeah, it's just very appealing to the part of my brain that's like, whoa, but we need to figure something out. It's like, this is actually how you not only figure it out, but you build a strong, stable foundation rather than like a house of cards or a sandcastle, And what was one of the things he said when he was describing inner conflict, and it just made so much sense? What was it? Well, no, this I think was from another thing I did today, but it was like, oh, what did he say? It's coming to me now. He was talking about if your goal is to see the sunset and you run east, it doesn't matter how much fire you have and motivation and positivity, you have the wrong strategy, type of thing. And that was just very humorous, but also very like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And then, oh, the navigation. I heard this twice today. 2 different experts use this analogy, which I love analogies, of you have to know where you are now. No, 3 different people. You have to know where you are now and be honest in order to be able to figure out how to get to where you want to go. So if you're in the car and the GPS doesn't know where you are, and you're like, I need directions to get to, the store, but it does not know where you are, it can't give you accurate directions. So if you're in, I don't know, New York, but you say you're in California, like, it's not going to work, So it's just really cool. It's really cool to be not only learning all this, but just having it be reiterated from so many different areas of how valid all of the process is and everything. So the next step for me is to actually, keep creating the vision. But I know for today, it's already 12:34. It is almost the weekend. I am very tired. So this was a very good step. And ultimately, the reason I attended the webinar is I told myself you don't have to do it. But you might be able to get something out of it, and so you can. And then once I was on there, I was like, oh, this is actually helpful. So I'm proud of myself for doing that. And I did email the new group I'm in about possibly getting the replay of the masterclass that I was on, because I want to prove to myself that it actually happened, because it's almost like it was a dream. It's not anchored in that actually happened, So, but that being said, I did work today, that was a lot of work, and I released more tears, which I know because I'm hitting those pain points, but that's the point. And I remind myself that's why people go to these seminars. They go to the seminar to get the knowledge, but they also go to the seminars to immerse themselves in, okay, I must not be crazy because other people are here too. You hear other people's stories, aka their experiences. So then it shows, like the reticular activating system, right? Then it shows, okay, so there's nothing personally or inherently wrong with me. This is human beings, right? And then he even said that because he's selling, he wants you to go to attend another thing. And he even said the most powerful day is the day of emotion. I'm like, okay, that's exactly what I'm doing. And has it been a long time coming? Yes. But is it coming? Yes. And so I'm just reminding myself, this isn't even me like taking a step back. This is me going forward, if that makes sense. Because I could drink, anything, but I could drink like a, double espresso, whatever, and make it through the day fine and not think about anything and not feel anything, right? And I will do that if I have to do that. But it's so cool that like I'm not having to do that because I'm taking, it's not even downtime. It's just time, I guess. I don't know. I'm getting off of the hamster wheel or the treadmill, at least for a bit. Meaning, still got to get her in the weekend starting. But if you ask me, do you regret? Let's see, I've done, this was supposed to be my day off of doing things, but I didn't do anything that wasn't worthwhile so far. So that's all good. And I didn't force myself to do anything, so that's huge progress for me. And I see how doing these actions are helping me plant these seeds and getting my whole being on board of like, so that when I do, step out It's from a solid place and a whole place. Yeah, it's just incredible. I'm just really, really grateful. I'm really, really grateful that I just keep breaking ground, is the best way I can describe it. And reminding myself the tears are not a setback, they are the way through. Because basically, I'm meeting the parts that stopped me in the past, having good intentions, but stopped me in the past. Well, people aren't going to like you. You're going to offend somebody. What if you're wrong and you end up all alone and all, just these fears basically. But the truth is that everybody gets to go for the life that they want, the pursuit of happiness, right? And I've always let other people, right, and respected their decisions. But what I didn't do was respect my decision if it clashed with what their decision was. So that's the difference. That's the linchpin. That's the thing that's truly transforming is I'm like, they are allowed to do whatever they want, and I'm allowed to do what I want as far as they get to do what makes them happy. And I want them to be happy and healthy. I don't wish harm on anybody. And the new part is I also get to be happy. And what makes me happy is being able to be present with people and being safe to be present with people and having genuine, deep connection with people. And some people do not want that, and that's okay. But that doesn't mean that I don't get to keep looking for that. It doesn't mean like their train or their journey is going one way, and that's fine, and I've always respected that. I get to go my way, though. That's the difference. And in the past, in order to fit in order to be loved or possibly be loved and belong somewhere, I have abandoned myself and what makes me happy. And that's not okay. It's not okay to hurt others. It's also not okay to hurt yourself. It's much more socially acceptable to hurt yourself than others. But it's much more fulfilling and like comforting when you're living. See, I'm getting scared now. But when you're living authentically. I don't know. I'm still evolving, obviously. But I've just always been the type where I don't want to be stoic. Like, I want to be really happy about something that other people might think is stupid or small. Why would you deny yourself genuine happiness, Not the illusion of it, but like genuine. So, like, laughing, I used to cut myself off because I was like, oh, I probably shouldn't laugh too much. Like, yes, there's appropriate places, to laugh and stuff, but like, isn't that sad how we cut ourselves off? I did, at least. So this is me taking that back and being like, no, it's not supposed to be. Yes, there are things in life that are hard, and that's one thing. But if we know that there are things in life that are really hard, and that's a given, and then we cut off our ability or our permission to truly feel joy when we do feel joy, what's left? Like, that doesn't sound like a quality of life that I want, So I'm just really grateful. So, love you guys.